Hello everybody, this is Bitcoin Macro, and this is the second video, guys, that I'm going to be making in this series about gems. In this one I'm going to mention a few more on Binance, and overall just I'm letting you know that most of these will not be on Binance, okay? But I want to make one for Binance as well, just because most of the people trade there. But if you want to get something that it's a bit more of a gem, that's something that can do very, very well, better than all the stuff on Binance, because look, the ones on Binance are probably already doing fairly well, okay, because they are on Binance. So they already have a bit of a premium because they are accessible to most people. But you want to buy stuff that could potentially get on more exchanges, maybe get on Binance, maybe that not many people know about. Maybe most of the supply is now controlled by true believers, so they are not going to be willing to sell anytime soon. Or maybe they cannot sell soon because there is not enough liquidity, so they're waiting for higher prices for them to exit. So Barcelona is a coin that I was looking at, is a token on the Chilis platform. So if you see the markup is at 120 million. Now if you look at the Chilis platform, it's doing a low volume, guys. Now I don't know how much of it is real, because right here you see XRP is above Bitcoin on trading volume, so I don't really know if that's the actual market cap of if the actual trading volume. But the market cap of Chilis is quite large as well, because it was one of those NFT tokens that pumped really, really hard as well in March or late February, somewhere in that period. So it did very, very well, and it has all sorts of tokens on it. Now, some of them have been listed on Binance. Every time one of them was getting listed on Binance, it pumped hard and then pretty much collapsed. Now, Rev was on other platforms and has done very well. I don't know what that is exactly, but there are many tokens from many teams all around the world. Some Turkish teams, Swiss teams, like all sorts of stuff. And the ones that are currently listed on Coinbase are OG, Roma, Paris Saint-Germain, Barcelona, AC Milan, Atletico Madrid, and these are the ones that are on Coinbase right now, and Juventus as well, sorry. So the rest are not on Binance. Potentially they could get on Binance, I don't know, but it might be harder for some of them to get on Binance, okay? I don't know which ones are gonna be, because I don't even know why Barcelona was not on Binance initially, because it has been trading for quite some time. And now, in my opinion, given the fact that it's right back in this area, it could actually do fairly well, okay? Like when tokens are here, like you have this high, and then you have had this area that was support, like if you look at these wicks right here, and then you have all this area, which is the actual area. If you consider, maybe I should, not the entire area, but this area, because this is where those closes were actually happening, plus these are the wicks right here. So it could go higher, given that the fact that it's Barcelona, it's not just any random team, it's one of the most popular teams in the world. And look, they were probably building up something. I don't know if the people in the Chilis platform or actually people knew something about it, whereas other stuff haven't done very well. Let's say OG, for example, OG Fan Token hasn't done very well, but might be doing well, okay? It's listed on Binance. The Juventus one hasn't done very well either, but it's starting to build something now. And PSG has done fairly well. So like you see, this was like when these things were getting listed on Binance. So massive pumps and massive dumps. But Barcelona, because it's a bit different, it might continue. And I do think that PSG might also continue higher. It's a fairly strong uptrend right here. So this is just the part with Chilis and Barcelona that I wanted to talk about. And now I'm just going to get into some more specific stuff. You can just do your research on those tokens, guys, what they are about when it comes to the Chilis platform, because it's something that's very unique and very cool. So next one is Mirror Protocol. So Mirror Protocol was listed recently on Coinbase and has gone up rather than dumping, like most stuff usually do. So Mirror Protocol had a very, very nice rally along with most of the DeFi stuff in January. Okay, it's still in an uptrend, in a fairly nice uptrend against Bitcoin. It's listed on several exchanges. I was expecting it to get listed on Binance at some point. It's also go on Coinbase custody. That was the pump right here. So it looked like a massive breakout, but it flipped and then got listed on Coinbase. But it looks pretty healthy, especially given the fact that it's on Coinbase custody and potentially a Coinbase listing might follow. So today it looks very strong when all the entire market was dumping. At least Bitcoin was dumping and many things dumped as well. DeFi has done fairly well, and I'm going to mention some DeFi stuff later on as well. So in terms of how much it's up, I don't really believe it's that much if you consider several things, like where it started from. So it's about 500% up versus Bitcoin, and its actual market cap is about $550 million. And you have to remember, guys, that now this is just even below what Parachain is that I mentioned earlier, and it's just about double of what Haven is, but it's actually a platform that's getting used heavily and it has lots of listings. So to be honest, right now it just seems like anything below 1 billion is what's considered cheap, especially given the fact that now pretty much most coins in the top 100 are above 1 billion of valuation. And if you look at the total value locked here, it's about 2 billion, and that just dwarfs this markup. So the fully diluted valuation is a little higher, but I just believe that, you know, if you just hold it short term as a trade, it's a very good one to be looking at and trading, especially given the fact that it's actually getting used right now. Synthetic assets might get hot again because of the DeFi boom. Maybe, you know, synthetics hasn't done very well, potentially because of mirror or the fact of the injective rise. So, you know, competitors might have been eating out synthetics. But I'm not saying it won't do well. It's probably going to do well as well. So next one is going to be SCRT. It's just one of those guys that it has had its mainnet. It was listed on Bittrex and Huobi, but those ones have not done the token swap or anything. So right now it's just on Binance, and it's a little weird. I don't know how well it's gonna do. In my opinion, it's definitely one of the gems to watch because, again, of the privacy component that it has, you know, so because it's a privacy coin, and I do believe that privacy might get a bit hot. You know, this includes lots of coins, you know, from Zen, Zcash, Monero. You know, if Parachain is doing well, you know, these ones might do well too. So I don't know if Bittrex and Huobi are eventually gonna get it out as well. I'm not sure, but it would definitely be a big thing if they swap the Enigma tokens into the SCRT network or Vite. I don't know how this is gonna work because Binance delisted Enigma and those exchanges still have Enigma tokens. So I don't know what's gonna happen. But that tells you also that the supply is kind of restricted. So those that haven't turned them into the SCRT network, these ones might have been essentially burned. So it's something to keep in mind. So next one is going to be LTO Network, which is actually pretty cheap, in my opinion, 125 million. Because if we just look at these guys, I quite like the chart. Now, it was one of my favorite ones, and it hasn't done very well. So I don't know how bad this is going to go. I don't know how much more it's going to dump, but it's getting fairly cheap right now. Now, let me put on the coin market cap chart in case it's a bit better. Yes, it's showing the last day as well. So if I just look at this, we had this massive pump, and I'm going to show you a similar chart later on, which I like as well. And now we have this massive base forming. Okay, so we have another, this is actually the first sort of break above this level. This was the listing on Binance. So as this coin was going higher, it kind of failed in this area which isn't abnormal given the fact that it was where it started, like, you know, the chart started. That was the first big collapse that led to this big down move. So it's not a surprising move, but I haven't seen like a blow off top on this one. So I do believe it could actually come all the way up here at some point. So it could do pretty well, given the fact that it's just like, look at this massive capitulation and sideways, nice sideways movement here, listing on Binance, chop all the way here. Like many coins in this phase right here or right here, or even right here, they are making new lows, okay? Many coins have fallen below their September 2019 lows, okay, lots of them. But this one has held very nicely, and I do believe it could go higher. Even here, I do feel that this is a little bit of a support, okay, because you have those two equal highs, and that's when this little move started. So I do believe that coming up here isn't something abnormal. So the other one is Aergo. It's also a similar market cap, potentially lower than that of LTO. So the reason that I said they are a bit similar, because it's, look at this, guys. Of course, for Aergo, there was even more history, but it was probably listed on CoinMarketCap a bit later. Like recently, CoinMarketCap has started gaining data very, very quickly, whereas back then they would wait for coins for a few weeks until they get enough volume and then list them on CoinMarketCap. So there was always like a bit of a lag. So essentially there was about 2 weeks or 1 month of data missing for many coins, whereas now not that many data is missing. So in my opinion, Aergo could come all the way up to this line. This would be very nice, because I do believe that, you know, this untested support, or maybe even here, this key breakdown level would be a key level to retest. Now it could even get up to this level, but I wouldn't be getting that far ahead of myself. I do like the fact that it's kind of sitting in this area right here, because you have all those highs that have turned into support potentially, because you also have the highs here, have the highs here. Clearly this market is very liquid, and especially on the Bitcoin pair, but I do think that it's looking fairly strong. It's also shown strength today, so I do believe that it could easily pull 170% increase from here, because it hasn't had a massive price increase since it got listed on Binance. So potentially this was the listing on Binance at the beginning of the year, and then it had this rally right here. But if we just look at how far down it's gone from here, I do believe it's one that could go much higher. Like we've seen several of those that have had pumps in, you know, early 2019, in Q1 of 2019, or even coins that in generally go out after the big bubble of 2017, 2016. Those coins have been able, I mean, the ones that have started, let's say in Q2 or Q3 or Q4 of 2018 or later, some of them have managed to reach fairly high levels, and some of them have managed to cross above their all-time highs. So for example, I'm just going to give a quick example here of a coin that is also listed on several it's listed on a Korean exchange. Upbit, it has a Korean pair, so it managed to make a new all-time high versus Bitcoin, okay, which is a pretty big accomplishment, okay. And I do believe that there will be other coins that do the same thing. So look at this, 38,000%. Excuse me, 3,800, my bad. Very nice, very nice. So the other one I want to talk about is Vite, which is another similar one, which I believe it could do something like NKN. They do have a little bit of a similar structure. They also go in a similar date on Binance. So if I just look at this, like it's in this zone where we have all those spikes, all that resistance here and here as well. And yes, it might fall much lower from here. It might have had enough of a pump, but usually these coins at least give a bounce. And because it also has those equal highs right here, I do believe this could get easily broken and it move much higher. Again, we've seen several of those coins form these patterns in this alt bull market. So I do believe it could come up here as well on this key breakdown level. And finally, guys, I want to talk about AMP. It's not on Binance, but it could get potentially listed on Binance. And the reason I want to mention this one, which is a fairly large one, is because I mentioned in a comment and on a previous video about Coinbase, and I was wrong. I thought that it was probably going to be a coin that's potentially not going to get listed on Coinbase soon, but I have changed my mind. I do believe that it could get listed on Coinbase fairly soon. Now, it has a fairly nice formation here, but just remember, if you want to look at the full history, you have to look at Flexacoin. If you go on FXC, on Bittrex or Poloniex, you would be able to see the full coin, but because of the rebranding, you know, some of that price action, the previous price action has been lost. But it's true that it's listed on Gemini as well. It's also on Coinbase custody. So it also has some fairly nice listings like Poloniex, Gate and Bittrex. It's listed on many decentralized exchanges right here, and it's very, very liquid. Lots of trading going on in these exchanges for this cryptocurrency, for this token. So it's going to be a pretty big one, guys, if it gets listed on Coinbase. And I do believe that this one, along with Curve and RSR, have a lot of potential. Now, Curve is already listed on Binance and Coinbase. Now, RSR is probably going to do much better because it's already on most big exchanges and it's not on Coinbase, but I do believe it's going to get listed there as well. Now, I've mentioned some other stuff as well. Like I made a video a few weeks ago, one of the first ones that I was talking about, Maker doing very well, DeFi doing well, and you know, I got many of those right, especially Uniswap, which I do believe they're gonna keep doing fairly well. So eventually as well, if Bitcoin bottoms at 47,000, which is my current expectation, or at least if it bottoms there for some time, I do believe alts are gonna do even better. So yes, the Bitcoin price going down doesn't mean necessarily that it's going to be terrible for alts, especially if you play them versus Bitcoin. And that's why I've been showing you guys all those Bitcoin charts. And you need to understand that there is a reason behind what I do. Because we want to outperform Bitcoin and accumulate Bitcoin no matter what that price is. We don't want to let simple movements in the Bitcoin price shake us out from alts. Okay, this is the last thing we need. We don't want to be shaken out from quality alts that look ready to have an explosive move just because Bitcoin might have a few bad days. Okay, now if the entire market has shifted and if we are in a bear market, we are done. Okay, so if you assume we're in a bear market, you shouldn't even be watching these videos that I'm making. But because I do believe that we're just into a strong correction, which is going to come to an end at some point, I do like 47, 48,000 for now. I'd like potentially I could change my mind. Maybe we don't even get down there. Maybe we just bottom around 49 or 50,000. Who knows? But in my opinion, the bull market is not over, and that's why you see all those alts show so much strength. Okay, it's not random that, you know, Ethereum had an all-time high today. Making an all-time high is not something you do in a bear market, and usually a bear market doesn't start when Ethereum is just 60% above its 2018 all-time high. At least that's my opinion. And it just doesn't make sense to me that a bear market will start now. Now, we've seen a lot of crazy stuff. Now, doesn't mean all coins are going to do well, and that's why I'm mentioning which ones I like right now. It doesn't mean that they are the best, but I do believe that, you know, stuff like Maker, RSR, AMP, Curve, you know, are going to do well. But right now, I'm just mentioning stuff that I like further down below for those that want to get, like, let's say some exposure to stuff that could do a 10x. Okay, this is what I'm talking about right now. Because yes, like the tokens that I mentioned, let's say AMP, RSR, etc., they're gonna do potentially a 2x, 3x, 4x, but at some point they will stop rallying, at least in the next 2 months, which I believe they're gonna have a bit of a top, and then Bitcoin is going to start rallying. At least that's my thinking and that's my view right now. So I do believe by the end of the summer, the alt season will be over, and then Bitcoin is going to take over after that. So if you subscribe on that view, you want to make as much money as you can now so that you can put it on Bitcoin, so that Bitcoin rallies, then you take that money out of Bitcoin and put them into altcoins, then altcoins rally, and then you have the final exit where you have to exit into US dollars, maybe keep some Bitcoin on the side as well, maybe some Ethereum, and just forget that for some time, because at some point we are going to get a bear market. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment. It really helps. Just tell me which coins you want me to talk about. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you didn't like about the video. If you want something new, if you want something that you want to learn about, like you want to talk about something, if you want to help me, just tell me you got this wrong, mate. If you want help me, just tell me, look at this coin. So you can come on my Twitter feed, you can come on Telegram, on my page, on TradingView as well. So again, please guys, like, subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll see you on the next one.